There is a life-threatening event that is going to happen in the United States. But this life-threatening event could actually bring relief to lower and middle income households. I want to explain why that is. Now, I do want to give you a little warning. Some of the things that are said in this video could be considered highly insensitive to people that are living in California, to residents that are currently there. So I just want to give you that warning, but let's get into the video. First thing I want to do is I want to share an email that I received just this morning. And again, I want to warn you that this is good news for millions and millions of people in the United States. However, this could be potentially devastating news to residents in California. Here's the email that I received.
Hey buddy, I need to share something with you. I just got off of a Zoom call with a dozen or so grocery distributors, and what they all had to say might seem a little insensitive to Californians, but it is good news for us here in the Midwest, the South, and for you guys in the East. One person said he is happy for all the rain in California because it increases the water levels and it helps produce more crops this year. Everybody agreed. But he also said that it will likely cause more flooding and deaths in the area. I love your research, so I was hoping you could do some more digging for me.
Now, I've said this multiple times in the past. If you guys have any questions, want me to do the research for you, I am glad to do that. Just let me know what you need help researching, and I will do the digging. So, let's talk about this for a minute. First, according to the National Weather Service in San Francisco, they say this storm is building currently over the Pacific Ocean, and it's poised to hit California on Wednesday, January 4th. That's tomorrow. They also say, and I quote, "The impacts will include widespread flooding, roads washing out, hillside collapsing, trees down, potentially full groves, widespread power outages, immediate disruption to commerce, and the worst of all, likely loss of human life." This is truly a brutal system that we are looking at and needs to be taken seriously. Now, this is a very serious storm. Very serious. Especially being that comes just days after the last storm dumped 5 inches in San Francisco and 10 inches across multiple parts of California. So that is the somewhat insensitive part. Now, let's get to the part that could bring some relief to lower income and middle income households. And that is the influx of rain that we are about to see and have seen over the past few days has been extremely beneficial to farmers for 2023. We have not seen this much rain in a while, and farmers are actually ecstatic, even people that are in California. Listen to a text message I received from a friend of mine who's been considering selling his farm in California. You may remember I've been talking about him over the past couple months because he's been highly considering this. He says, "Dude, we have been getting hammered with rain, and this might be a blessing in disguise. I didn't plant much of my crops this year due to the lack of water, but this might change everything for me. Wish me luck." That's what he said. That's a text message I received. So, just to give you an idea of how important water is right now in California, just so you know, California was in a extreme drought and has been for the past year. Experts are anticipating that Lake Shasta, which is California's largest reservoir, it will rise by 40 to 50 feet over the coming days. 40 to 50 feet. As of today, Tuesday, January 3rd, Lake Shasta was 34% full, and it was 57% full or of normal levels at this exact same time last year. So, Lake Shasta is vital for distributing water to much of California, and to pretty much the entire state, right? Just California itself produces a third of our nation's vegetables. It also produces 75% of the country's fruits and nuts. So right now, this life-threatening event in California could be responsible for bringing relief to lower income and middle income households by bringing down food prices. Now, keep in mind, experts are calling this a life-threatening event. So I want to touch on this for just a second. Most people would assume that a lot of rain is going to be good. It's going to be good for the region, and it will be in the future. As of right now, it is going to cause destruction. We're already seeing levees breaking. We're seeing rivers overflowing. There's flooding. People have lost property, houses, right? This is not something that we need to take lightly. And I addressed something like this yesterday where I talked about there was a prediction from quakeprediction.com where there is potentially a 7.0 magnitude earthquake that will hit California in the San Francisco Bay Area sometime between yesterday and today. But again, it was a warning, and I warned you guys that it was also a prediction and that there's no scientific studies that say we can actually predict an earthquake. So I talked about that yesterday. But at the same time, I gave you guys a warning. And I also gave you my opinion. Well, here's my opinion on this. It is much easier to predict a storm. Much easier to predict rain than it is an earthquake. With that said, the National Weather Service in San Francisco is saying that we need to be prepared. We need to be ready. Make sure you have sandbags just in case your home floods. Make sure you have an exit plan if you are going to stay in the area. Make sure you guys have food and water. Being that they say in their release, they say there's going to be widespread flooding, roads washing out, which means you probably shouldn't be driving up and down the highways. There'll be hillside collapsing, which means probably don't stay in your home if you are living on a hillside. Trees will be down. There'll be widespread power outages, which essentially means, well, don't expect to be using the internet. Don't expect to be making phone calls. Because again, we are going to see a huge disruption. But they say the worst of all will likely be loss of human life. And that is truly the worst thing of all. But again, and I'm trying to be very clear on this. This life-threatening event could be good news moving forward. As of right now, this could be devastating. All right. So the last thing I want to say is, if you live in California, if you live in the area that is expected to be hit by this massive storm, take some precaution. Be prepared. Be ready. And if you need to, get out. Simple as that. So again, thank you guys for watching. Stay safe. Subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I'll see you guys on the next one.